Hi, 7th graders. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the 7th grade MCA formula sheet, but we're going to pay close attention to this formula right here, which is the circumference of a circle. So if we have a circle, the circumference is just a fancy way of saying perimeter. It's the distance around the outside of a circle. And that's what we're going to be finding today. The first two examples that we're going to look at together are just simply find the circumference. So the formula on the formula sheet that you'll get says the circumference equals pi times the diameter. And we know that pi is equivalent to approximately 3.14. So we're going to use the number 3.14 for pi. Okay, so let's begin with our first example. I want to start off with the circle on the left by writing down the circumference formula. Circumference equals pi times diameter. There's an invisible multiplication right there. Okay, well, let's plug in the numbers that we know. Oh, that's kind of a goofy C. Circumference equals pi is 3.14. And we want to multiply that by the diameter. Well, diameter of a circle is all the way through the center. And we can see here that that's given to us. That's 14. So with my calculator, I'm going to type in 3.14 times 14. And the calculator will give me 43.96. Remember, this is just distance. That's distance around the outside of the circle. So that's just going to have the label of centimeters. And there I have my circumference of the first circle. Let's try the second circle. I'm just going to switch colors here. Okay, so here's the circumference of the second circle. So I'm going to start off again with my formula. Circumference equals pi times diameter. I know that pi, I'm going to use the number 3.14. And then I want to multiply that by the diameter of the circle. Okay, well, it looks like this with this circle, I'm only given the radius, which is halfway through the middle of the circle. So I need diameter for this formula. So if halfway across is 4.5, the other side is also 4.5. So if I add them together, I would get a diameter of 9. Okay, so 9 is my diameter. So I just had to double the radius to get the diameter. Now I can use the calculator, 3.14 times 9, and I get the circumference as 28.26. And remember that circumference is just the distance around, and we measure distance just with the unit here, inches. So circumference here is 28.26 inches on the second circle. So that's just how you use the formula for circumference, depending on, and the thing that you really have to kind of watch for is, are they giving you the diameter or are they giving you the radius? Because for this formula, you need to know the diameter. So if you're given the radius, you just have to double it. Okay, let's look at another example with circumference. This is a working backward. Let's go with purple here on this one. That looks fun. Okay, this is working backward because I'm given the circumference. Do you see how we're told that their circumference is 47.1 inches? That means that the distance around the circle is 47.1 inches. And we're asked to find the radius and the diameter. So we're going to need to do a little working backwards. I'm going to first start off by writing down the formula. Always start off with that. So circumference equals, and I'm going to write the number pi as 3.14 times diameter. All right, let's switch colors here. We'll switch it to black so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, well, let's look at what we know. We know the circumference. So I'm going to plug in the number 47.1 where I see the circumference. Okay, let's write everything else that we have here equals 3.14 times the diameter. All right, well, could we use this information in order to find our diameter? Could we solve an equation or work backwards? Well, how could we figure out what we multiply by 3.14 to get 47.1? We could use division, couldn't we? We could undo it. We could take that 47.1 and divide it by 3.14. Absolutely. Now you can either do that with your calculator, or if we look at it as solving an equation, we could undo the 3.14 by dividing, and then we divide the other side by 3.14. So algebraically, I could solve it as an equation, or just use your calculator, and you're going to get 15 for the diameter. So that means our diameter is 15 inches. All right, that's the distance all the way across the circle. That's 15. Well, remember, radius is just halfway. So how are we going to find the distance halfway? Well, we could take 15 and divide it by 2. What is half of 15? Well, half of 15 is 7.5. So my radius here would be 7.5 inches. So I can use a kind of a work backwards strategy if we're given the circumference and we have to find the radius or the diameter. Hopefully this was helpful. Thank you so much for joining me for Circumference of a Circle. Have a great day.